Hey guys, I'm Pascal from Orange Pixel, and it arrived. It literally arrived just a few hours after recording last week's episode. So it's been here for a week now, and it's awesome. Let me just give you the close-up and what this actually is. Alright, so this is the poster with all the various Orange Pixel characters of the current Orange Pixel universe, and it's in chronological order, so I'm not from releasing, but actually where these games are in the timeline of the whole Orange Pixel. All these games are somewhat connected to each other. So over here in the old, the ancient dungeon era, we have our Heroes of Loot, and a few years after that we'll have actually Sir Questionnaire roaming other type of dungeons, a little bit more closer to our current timeline, but still way in the dungeon era. And then we get to a more modern era with the Gunslugs. The Black Duck Army is doing weird experiments. They're doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. The Gunslugs are trying to stop them, but they don't really completely stop the Black Duck Army, meaning we're getting into a lot of problems on the planet. Luckily we have the Groundskeeper. She just finds herself in the middle of an invasion, trying to hold down the fort, the area she lives in, beating up robots and alien species, things coming through a portal. Bringing the fight to the other side of that portal, we have our Snake Corps team. They are using these portals to just see if we can actually stop the problem from happening by shutting down the portal on the other side. But not sure how that all goes and happens and works. There is some sort of apocalyptic event that's not on the poster, it's not there, but after the apocalypse we end up with the Ash World. This is pretty much hundreds of years after the apocalypse, and this is where the time, or at least where the story split a little bit. This is the apocalypse on the planet Earth, but Meganoid is part of a big, or this guy lives on the Meganoid, which is a big transportation vessel. Somewhere during all this, a large group of people decided that it was probably better to leave the planet in search for something better. That's why this guy is on this Meganoid vessel. The Meganoid ship has some issues as well, because, well, it's games. So that's his area, fixing and making sure the Meganoid reaches other planets. Meanwhile, we have our little residual guy over here. He is a maintenance guy from the Meganoid vessel, but he was doing some maintenance on the outside, or just detecting some planets, whatever, a researcher maybe, and he finds himself stranded on one of the many planets lost from the Meganoid. So that's where Residual is going, and then way in the future we have the Space Grunts, and a lot of stuff is happening over there, but it's all connected. These portals are all connected. All these events, this is literally the whole Orange Pixel universe, building a universe. And there's already some other games I'm gonna be fitting in this universe, but this is the current poster. Next year there might be an even bigger poster with more characters on it, but for now we got a very cool poster. And this whole building the universe is actually a nice bridge to today's topic for Residual, because I actually built a universe. I'm gonna show you after the intro. It's pretty cool. If this is your first time here and you don't know what Residual is, please check some of the earlier videos. I think this is devlog episode 35. The first devlog, I started with creating a procedurally generated planet, but not just the layout of the planet. Everything on that planet was procedurally created. So how much dirt, how much grass, how much snow, and eventually a few weeks ago or a few months ago we ended up with procedural life based on the temperature on a planet and everything around it. Certain creatures are created by matching body parts and heads and tails, and we create very unique creatures for different planets. What if I took all that one step further? And this has crossed my mind many times over the development phase, but I never knew where to start and how to do it. This week I did it. Let me just show you what I did so that you actually can follow my enthusiasm for what I created. Okay, so here we have a planet, the players on the planet, and let me turn down the volume a little bit. We have snow, we have dark spots, we have different plant lives, different things bouncing around, spider webs. Everything you see here is created based on values. The computer generates all this. I do have some say in the layout of everything, so all this stuff, I think we have a debug version right here. Yeah, all these squares are templates. So I create a template with different options, then the computer picks options and then matches a bunch of templates until we have a pretty cool looking planet. And this is downstairs somewhere in the planet. This is upstairs at the top of the planet where you crash. All these squares, this is a template, this is a template. So I create the templates with various options, and then the computer mixes and matches those and then adds grass to it, dirt, trees, life forms like this creature. And let me change the hour of the day to 12 so we can see something and debug off. Here we have little creatures running away from me. Everything you see is created by the computer. Cool. But I added something more. I added a whole galaxy. Every orange dot you see is a star system. We can, let me just go handheld. Sorry for if it shakes a little bit, but there's just so much to show. So star system, Kaleo, all these names are also created by the computer, or at least most of the names are, like the galaxy names are done by me. Some of the stars and planets will have some names, but most of this is done by the computer. Let us focus into a star system. This one. And we now have a bunch of planets rotating the sun right here. This stuff still needs to be improved, but the temperature on this planet is dictated by the distance to the sun. And that temperature then dictates everything else on the planet, and we have a bunch of planets available this way and a bunch of star systems. This is all a lot of playable planets, and this is just one galaxy. So I kind of envisioned this pretty early on during development, but I never got around to it because the most important thing was the planet. That's where you're playing your game sessions. You'll be playing it on a planet, so the planet just everything on there, all the details needed to be done first. But now I just figured I'd give it a try. So this week I've been working mostly on this. I've also done a bunch of interface changes and updates and tweaks, but that's all minor stuff compared to this. We have multiple galaxies being created. Those galaxies are always the same for all the players. It's the rule of the galaxy. They are like they are. The planets, the stars, everything should be the same, as long as I don't create weird stuff or introduce new values that completely mess things up. I'll have to make sure I'll work around those things. But everything you see, all the planets, all the star systems, all the galaxies, it's all being created by the computer. Not to get Tech Talk Tuesday on you, I'm not going to dive into the code very deep. Maybe I'll do that for Tech Talk Tuesday. But for now, just the lower level or the simple, easy way of how I create these planets. We create 9 different galaxies. This is based on random numbers, but those random numbers are created based on the same starting number. So the table of numbers will always be the same because we have the same starting point. And using that table of weird different numbers that I don't know what they are, the computer just dumps a bunch of them in there using a calculation. They're always the same. Galaxies are created. Every galaxy creates multiple star systems. This is also a random number. It might be, I think at the least it will be 4 star systems. At the most it will be 20, I think. And every star creates a bunch of planets, and every planet has a bunch of data on it. So it's a lot of numbers, and all these numbers are pre-calculated or pre-made. So every time you start the game, these numbers are the same. So why are we adding this now to the game? Well, first reason, pretty much the best reason, it's freaking cool. All these planets revolving around the sun, and then technology-wise, it's amazing, and I'm very proud of it. But for a player starting a new game, you'll land on a planet. You have no idea what's going around. You have no idea that this planet is part of so much more and so much bigger and part of a full galaxy. So crashing on a random planet, that's the first thing you're gonna do when you start the game. But I think, and this isn't 100% sure yet, but I think you're gonna be able to unlock a free play mode or something, and that's where this screen comes in. That's the first thing, just being able to visit or dictate where you're gonna be crashing. You're still gonna crash because that's how this game was built. but you can actually pinpoint where you're gonna crash, which I think is an interesting feature. That way you can actually try to just complete all the planets and survive and lift off from all the planets. That's one interesting meta game, I guess. Another meta game is that there will be artifacts hidden on a planet. Every planet is gonna get 1, maybe 2 artifacts. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of weird stuff for this. Right now I have the characters from Gunslugs in there, the Space Grunts characters, some pickup items from other games. There's just gonna be a bunch of stuff, toys, trinkets, that's what we're gonna call it, artifacts. You can find these on the planet, and every planet will have something for you to find. So you can really go on a scavenge hunt and try to find all the artifacts on all the planets. This little view of all the planets will also show you which artifacts you found, if you found them, if not, or if you survived the planet, or if you died on the planet, or if you never visited the planet. So a lot of extra metagame. And of course, if you also find these artifacts, you might want to share them with other players. So that's now much easier than giving them a random number. You can now just tell them to go to this galaxy, that star system, visit that planet, and then it's somewhere at the lower half or the upper half, or more on the left side, more on the right side. You can find it about there. And I hope that's going to be something that players do. Just share their knowledge of where you can find all these different artifacts. Every planet will have 1, maybe 2, depends on how much artifacts I'm going to create, but at least in the main galaxy you'll be able to find these artifacts. Every planet has some mission for you, or some alternate gameplay for you. So that's been most of my work this week. Everything else I've been doing. This is my to-do list for the current build. I've been doing a lot of improvements on the whole interface. There are a bunch of different items like pickup notifications, but also missions coming in and out, crafting knowledge, this little robot talking to you. I wanted to declutter all that so that not everything happens at once. So I made sure to structure it much better so that certain messages wait for other messages to be gone, and placement of these messages. That's also a lot of my time this week. So yeah, that's been my week, creating a galaxy for this game, and it's really amazing. Like I said at the beginning, I envisioned this for the game, but I never knew if it was gonna work. And still, one thing I envisioned that isn't in the game is when you lift off from the planet, you actually manage to land or go to another planet. And the reason I'm not adding that to the game, at least not for a while, is it adds a bunch of interesting problems. Right now, when you crash, your whole survival mechanism and all your missions on that planet is to fix your ship. If you just fly and land on a planet, I mean, right now I guess it could be possible to just go artifact hunting, but there's a bunch of stuff that isn't ready and set up for that. So maybe in a future update we'll be able to just hop from planet to planet. It would be extremely cool, but not for now. I just need to wrap up the current build and the current game. But this is that's a very big step. And that's it for this week's video. Next week I think I'm gonna cover the tile sets that people entered for the game. I'm also extending that little contest. You get the whole month of February to try and create a tile set. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Discord, check the Hash News channel. There is a little contest there, create a tile set for the game. There are rules on what should be done, and you can win a copy of the game, your name in the credits, and a Orange Pixel hoodie if your tile set makes it into the actual release game. So one of these planets might have your graphics making it. So next week I'm going to talk about those tiles that are already in, and let's finish with some comments reading. I haven't done this for a while, but yesterday's or last week's video, yesterday for me, I haven't looked at the comments just yet, so let me just go through it. Scruff Duff says, I love your style of devlog so much, can't wait to play the game. You can wait or you can't wait. I hope you can't wait, but you'll have to wait. So thanks. Dragon Mins, so much awesome things this week, especially the thing with global coordinates and the database for all the creatures. I'll try to make a tile set, but I'm not sure if I can make it in time or it will look good. I can't help you with looking good, but I can help you with the time. You got a couple of weeks extra if you still want to participate. So why not try it? Signalize, don't mind me, I'm just boosting the algorithm. Thanks, and I won't mind you at all. Check, will you ever try 3D games? Yeah, maybe some, sure. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Won't say no to it, but no plans for it right now. Philip Gunn, the last background looks epic. Yeah, it turned out pretty well. I mean, you mean the little parallax background. I was very happy with it, and it was actually just one attempt, just drawing it, and it looked good. Modified the colors a little bit, but it looked good in one take. So that rarely happens, as I mentioned last week. So EvoDry, the game is coming along amazingly. Can't wait for it to release. Yeah, I can't wait for it to release either, but I'm also still very happy to work on it every day. Yesterday I was just doing some gameplay sessions and I ended up in areas in a planet, and I was really still amazed by how it looks and what the computer comes up with. And oh my god, you really implemented the feature. Not sure which feature you mean. I'm guessing the Residex, the database for creatures. In that case, yeah, I really implemented that feature. Genji, awesome seeing the tiles in the video. Also love the background making process. Cool stuff as always. Keep them coming. House tour when? I have not planned any house tours at all, but I think in my early videos you see a bunch of areas in the house, and so combine all those videos and you'll have a house tour. Lebec, it just keeps looking better and better. I'm so excited for the release. Me too. I'm also very excited that we're actually nearing something that's gonna be released, and that release might still be some months away because porting, translations, and but it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be worth the wait. El Primo, interesting video as always. Thank you. Game news intel. Hey Orange or Orange Pixel. Looks really good, by the way. I'm on the Discord and this here before I forget. For finding some planets, you could use one seed for creating whole universe. Guess what this video was about? And Mediafire, I don't get your smileys and your emoticons on my videos. Seriously, just write words and then add a smiley or something, or be more clear what you mean with the smiley. Because a sad face, you're sad the video was only 19 minutes. I get that. I get that. I can understand. All right, enough talk for this video. See you next week. All right, bye. It arrived.